Hey, my name is Craig. Welcome to Flying Wheels. This right here is a 2005 Bentley Continental GT, a W12 cylinder twin turbo all-wheel drive with 550 horsepower. This thing is an absolute luxurious monster and one of my favorite cars that I've owned in quite some time. Now, if you've been following my series, you know that I started with an initial $400 and I'm flipping to a Ferrari. Well, we are at a Bentley Continental GT, which is amazing to say out loud. So cool that it makes me kind of not want to sell it. A lot of people have asked, Craig, what is up with this Ferrari flip? Well, I started with $400, bought a car, fixed a car, sold a car, bought a car, fixed a car, sold a car. And now I have a Bentley Continental GT and $6,000. Today's video, I've had it for quite some time and I'm gonna try to sell it. You might see the auction behind me. Today I'm gonna take it to a dealer-only auction because, to be quite honest with you, I am sick and tired of the type of retail buyer that wants to buy this car. I'll get into that later. Today, I'm gonna take you to the auction with this car and see if we can wholesale it to another dealer. Maybe someone else will want it. Maybe somebody else can finance somebody and maybe have a little bit more luck with it. I've really enjoyed this car, but it's time to move on with this Ferrari flip series. My name is Craig from Flying Wheels. Let's get going. So once again, this car, 2005 Bentley Continental GT all-wheel drive with 550 horsepower. It's amazing, and to be quite honest with you, I really want to keep it. But you guys don't care that I own a Bentley. You want me to keep moving on. You want to see what's next and what's next and what's next. So sadly, I have to sell my Bentley. Now, this isn't just any Bentley. It has 117,000 miles, so it brings the price down significantly. But what does that mean? Lots and lots of headaches. Not with the car. The car is amazing. It's the buyers. I have literally had 6,000 messages via Facebook or emails about this car. They either all have like 400 credit scores or they just don't show up. I mean, it's like the biggest faker's car because it was a $200,000 car and it still looks like a $200,000 car, but people want champagne but can only afford like Michelob Ultra. So it made it a little difficult to try to sell this. Now it's 6:46 on a Wednesday morning. It is freaking freezing in New Hampshire because winter is coming, but I just got out of the gym and I wanted to take this car to the auction to get photographed and up and listed before the auction starts. Now, oftentimes I get here around like 9 a.m. The auction starts at 10. If I get this car here that late, not a lot of buyers are going to be able to see it. Now, there is another problem too. The auction's typically on Thursday, but tomorrow's a holiday. Tomorrow's Thursday, tomorrow's a holiday. So they're having the auction on Wednesday, which means less buyers are going to be here because there are two auctions that run on Wednesdays. You're kind of splitting the market in half. So it's a great opportunity for me to find deals, but not a great opportunity for me to sell cars. Now, one thing about this car that kind of bums me out, the windshield. Now, I had to buy a new windshield. Guess how much a windshield costs in a Bentley Continental GT? $1,400. Now, what I liked about the original Bentley Continental windshield is it was, what do you call it? When the glasses, you can see through the water, they were polarized. The windshield was polarized, so it actually looked purple. Now, I have just like a universal windshield, not from Bentley. You can see that it is not a Bentley windshield and it's clear. So it is not polarized. It does have the tint up here, which I like, but I really like that purple hue on the windshield from the factory windshield, but whatever, I had to fix it. So I did go through this car. I did do a couple things. There was an air suspension issue that I took care of. I fixed the windshield. I took care of some trim tabs. One thing that annoys me about this car, watch this window. Now, I love that these windows are two parts and they go down, but see that crack back there? See that air gap right there? It's kind of frustrating because it'll close. I can close the gap. But what happens when I put this window down? See that window goes back? That window goes down too. Now, when I put this window up, that window, oh, I just realized I haven't been holding the button long enough. Let me do that again. So if I put this window down, that window right there goes down a bit. So what I've been doing is closing the window, and there's been a gap there, which has been really frustrating. If I held this button longer, it closed more. I've had this car for a month and a half and I didn't even realize that. So let me get to the price. I paid $24,750 for this car. The problem is I bought it at a specialty car auction, and I paid like $2,000 in buyer's fees. Bumps it up to almost $27,000. With shipping, I was over $27,000. Add the windshield and a few other items, I own this car for $30,000. Now what that means is I own a Bentley Continental GT, a really, really luxurious, like close to supercar. I can't call it a supercar because it's so damn heavy. This thing weighs like 5,500 pounds. But I own this thing for the price of a Camry, which is really, really cool. And what's nice about a Bentley is they get taken care of. People that buy these typically have money until the people that buy these don't have money to buy them. And then they don't get taken care of. This one was cared for. Let me show you one of my favorite things about this car. Ready? To open the hood is right here. See that right there? Super cool. W12, the cylinders kind of go like that or like that. I don't know, it's tough to explain, but it's like a VR6 engine. It's not a V12. 6-liter twin turbo. The thing is a rocket ship. And you might have seen my race car video where I wanted to race this against my C8 Corvette. We're at New England Dragway, a quarter-mile drag strip, and today we're gonna find out which of those 3 cars are fastest in the quarter mile. Unfortunately, it was a flop because of that windshield. And now it's winter, the drag strip is closed. I can't do it anymore, so I missed the boat on that. But I've been driving this for a month and a half, and I love it. Look at the fit and finish. It's stitched leather, like real solid wood. It smells of, to be honest with you, it smells of money. I mean, this car smells like a really, really nice car. I love the clock. These are real metal buttons. Like, nothing about this car is cheap. Not even the cell phone. I love this little cell phone. Check this thing out. Hello, hello. So cool. And then what a bunch of you have told me is that this is like an original Bluetooth device. So this was like a hands-free device before Bluetooth was a thing. Now the problem is I'm running this through the auction today. I'm gonna have to get rid of these because someone else will absolutely steal these. There is no honor among thieves, and I take this to a dealer auction. Some low-end dealer is going to just steal those things for the novelty of it. All right, so like I said, I got to the auction really early so I can have them photograph it, market it, and list it up for sale. So let's go check it in, and I think they just take photos of it and post it up, and then we'll come back today and see if we can sell this thing. So there they go. They take photos of the car for me, market it, and they'll list it up on their website because there'll be buyers online, bidders online as well. It's not just bidders in line. Done. They photographed it. They listed it. Did I say that right? Listed it. So now I can come back like an hour and a half and it's already up. I can just drive it in, park it, people can look at it, and hopefully people buy online. I gotta tell you, I'm not feeling that good about today because it's a Wednesday, not my typical Thursday when most buyers would be here. But we'll see. All right, showered, out of the gym clothes, heading back to the auction. It's 9 a.m. and I gotta say, I'm just bummed. I could stop this series right here and be completely satisfied. I'm literally driving a Bentley from a $400 initial investment, and this car is freaking fast, but like weirdly smooth fast. It is insanely quick, but it doesn't whip my head back. It's just like a luxury car that's really, really fast. But there are things that I still don't like about this car. Number one being this infotainment system. Now, granted, it is 16 years old, but I have to transfer like the platform to use this. So I have to go from AC to audio to navigation of phone just to use this display. There's no like climate control button. There's no audio button. I have to hit audio to change the channels. And this is the master button right here. It's a real pain in the butt. And then like I had mentioned before, that rear window back there, it goes down when I open the door and it doesn't go back up. So for a car with double pane glass that is super smooth and super quiet, I get a draft all the time because I forget to roll up that window. But I still like, look at this leather headliner. This car is so amazing, but every good thing has to come to an end, I guess. So we're going to the auction. Let's see what we can do with it. So before we go to the auction, which is right across the street, I gotta put some gas in it. The gas light just came on, and I put 5 gallons in it yesterday, and all I did was drive from my shop to the gym and back home. Gas light came on. So it is a gas guzzler. And while I'm here, car wash, because it's a premium car. I don't want it to look like it was neglected. I want it to be clean for the auction. And I gotta say, I've said it already, I really want to sell this thing. I really like it. I enjoy that people appreciate this car everywhere I go. I mean, I'm here getting gas, and someone came up to me to just chat about it. And I like that about this car. It's different, and it's not pretentious. I mean, it's cool looking, it's not pretentious, and people appreciate it, and they like to ask about it. The only thing is, I went to my other shop today to get an estimate on some work at my rental property, and I'm pretty sure the estimate went up in price because I showed up in a Bentley. So that's something you have to think about and watch out for. He told me $550 on the phone for something. I pulled up in this car and it went up to $750. So I do think I was upcharged because I showed up in a Bentley, and I couldn't help it. I would have gone home and gotten a freaking Camry had I known that. Come on, guys. I just freaking paid for the car wash and it's closed, but they charged me. Well, that's what I get for living in New Hampshire. The freaking car wash is frozen, literally frozen, but they still charged me for the car wash. So they won't refund me for the car wash they charged me for, but the car wash is closed. So now I got to go to the auction with a dirty car. So here's the auction, and you can see how many open spaces there are, which isn't good for me. And I guess you can look at it one of two ways. There aren't a lot of cars, which means there's less cars to buy, which means there are more people to buy less option vehicles. So that's good for me. However, there's less people here too because they're at other auctions. That sucks for me. There's just nothing here today. This is usually filled with cars. This is crazy. And that's a good indicator of how the market is. I mean, if I can't buy any cars, that means I'm going to be spending more for cars. That means you'll be paying more for cars. This is scary. If it's like this now and it's still hard to find new cars, geez, I don't even know what the future holds for all of us. Look at literally hundreds of open spaces that usually are filled with cars. And here we go. There's my car, but look at way back here. So even though there are all these open spots, I'm still literally in the back of the parking lot. So no one's even gonna see my car. I do this sometimes and I feel like it's just such a waste of my time and money because I have to pay to have this car here. I've been here twice now today. The other thing that stinks too is the freaking, I show up and the window's down, the battery is on with the key on. It's just because people don't care. Nobody cares. And I gotta take these things before someone else does, just for the novelty of it. A few hours later, look at this. Piece of cheat, and way back there is my Bentley. Literally the last one of the day. Doesn't matter, I called a week and a half in advance and said, can I have a decent number? I'm running a Bentley, and I still got the last one of the day in the junk lane. So I don't even know why I waste my time. The car looks amazing. And I'm running after cars with exhaust leaks, some with no cats, etc. I don't feel good about this. Here we go.
20, 22, 25.
Yeah, it's mine. It's a good car. So $22,750 was the high bid. I'm obviously not going to sell it for that. I own it for close to 30, but I wish I would buy it back for that price if I could. That is a freaking steal for that car. And the problem is, I really like it. I love that car. But you guys want me to keep moving the series. I got to move that car so I can buy some other stuff. In the meantime, I do have $6,000. So I think maybe next week I'll bring German back with me. We'll see what we can come up with $6,000 and roll that cash, and maybe I can enjoy the Bentley for a little while. I'm not quite sure. What do you guys think I should do with that? The car hasn't been painted black, but the buyers have been painted black. That's why I brought it to the auction.
You got it.
Hold on, I'm gonna move the line.
Yeah,
You got it.
So, Papa Al, what we bought today, motorcycle over there, and I think 3 or 4 others. So let's see what we bought. So at least today wasn't like a dead day, a waste of time. We bought a couple cars on the real cheap because the auction was pretty dead today. See that Saab convertible right there? Even though we shouldn't be buying Saabs in convertibles in the winter, I couldn't resist. I know the top works. It's an 05, 128,000 miles, leather. I have a soft spot for Saabs, and I don't know why. I bought a motorcycle and a convertible a week before December. Oh, I missed that dent. Darn it. The top works though. Here, you can take this one out, Pop. The other cool thing is it's a handshaker, standard shift. And I bought a Grand Cherokee. No, not that 04. I bought this 14 Overland. I love these Overlands. They're so nice. 20-inch wheels, leather. Look how nice these things are. Another one of my scores. Ready for it? Ready for it? Yes. That is what? A Saturn L200 or something? 02, 108,000 miles. I could not resist. These were amazing cars. LW300. These were amazing cars when I first started my business 15 years ago. They were super reliable. They were cheap. This one has low miles. It's going to be a great, cheap car for somebody. Now, you know the game. Will it start? Of course it'll start. It's a Saturn. And here's my other one, a 2000 Honda Accord. Craig, why would you buy a 2000 Honda Accord that looks like that? Number one, it has 67,000 miles. There's 67,000 miles on this car. Has a current sticker, good tires, leather interior, And to be honest with you, a really clean one drove by me the other day that I really liked, and I think I just had it on my brain. But like, yeah, it's ugly, but I can fix this up and I can paint it, and then I can have a 67,000 mile Honda Accord right before tax time. What am I talking about, Craig? Tax time. When tax time comes, everybody has just a little bit of cash and they can't wait to spend it. This is a tax season car. If you guys are in this job, you should be buying your tax season cars now, November, December, January, when people are broke, when people are buying Christmas gifts and not cars. Buy your cars now, store them, and then once tax season comes in, just cash it all in. You're welcome on that too. And last but not least, that's what I bought, a Honda Fury, a 2020 Honda Fury. Yes, it is November right now, but I scored that thing. I paid $4,500 for a 2020 Honda Fury. Now that was probably an $11,000 or $12,000 motorcycle a year ago, so that's cool. Next week, hopefully I'll leave with this thing too. Now, like I said, I like to give you guys tips and tricks and all my knowledge. If you notice, I bought a motorcycle right before winter. I also bought some cheap tax season cars. Now this bike isn't gonna be $4,500 in the spring when everybody wants them. It's gonna be $7,500. So I can bring this back to the auction in the spring, sell it for a profit, or sell it retail for even more money. But I just have to store it for a couple months, but it's worth the investment. Better than having the money sit in the bank account accumulating nothing. I'll see you guys in the next video. Let me know what you guys would do with that car. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe down below. One last thing, if you want to learn how to do what I do, I mean, get your dealer's license, start your own dealership, startyourdealership.com. We're running a special right now. I've dropped the price because you've asked, temporarily. So if you're seriously interested in starting your own car dealership, wholesaling, retailing, whatever, click the link down below to startyourdealership.com. I put a lot of time and effort into this, and it's really, really a cool program. I'll see you guys later. Have a great day. Adios. Hey everyone, thanks again for watching. If you have not yet subscribed, make sure to do so down below, because next week we're going to go see a Ferrari at an auction and figure out how much it's actually going to cost me to be able to afford a Ferrari in this series. Also, if you click on the links right on this video, you can watch our entire playlist for the series and one of your best recommended videos.